And that gets us to this. Peter Schrager's mock draft, hot off the presses. Okay, you're looking at his projected top 10 picks. This is important. Based on what he is hearing around the league just a day away. He only has one quarterback in the top 10. That's Cam Ward. And at the bottom, you see Schrager has Shedeur Sanders falling to 21, where the Steelers will take it. Both of them join us now. Adam Schefter, Peter Schrager with us. Schefter, before I get to you, Peter, I want you to explain a little bit more about your mock.
I love mock drafts. I would read 1,000 mock drafts if we can, and I think at ESPN we've got the best mock drafts. I only do one of them 36 hours before the draft, and it's based on everything I'm getting in here. I take pride in it. I feel like Timothy Chalamet saying I want to be like Michael Jordan when it comes to mock drafts. This is with conversations with all 32 NFL teams. And in this case, I click submit, I send it, the ESPN mock draft gods put it where it goes. And it's like I'm letting a kid out to college. I just have to say goodbye, and it's out there in the ether. And everyone could pick it apart, but I feel pretty good with a lot of the intel I have on this mock draft.
Okay, so it's been released to the world, and then someone like Adam Schefter has some questions about it. So, Schefty, what questions do you have with this mock draft coming out?
Well, before we get to the questions, Matt, I want to officially welcome you back from TGL and to Get Up, and I want to welcome Peter Schrager to the set here at ESPN because I have not been on with Peter yet, so it's a great honor to be with him as he releases his one and only mock draft. And I think we start with the fact that yesterday on this show, Peter mentioned the fact that there have been teams calling to number 2 Cleveland, number 3 the New York Giants, inquiring about going up. Where are we in that process as that entered into your mock draft considerations, Peter?
Great question, Adam, and thanks for that warm welcome. There have been teams calling. I don't think anyone has blown either one of those teams away as of 36 hours from both teams being on the clock. As of right now, I have both teams staying put and it being chalk. 2, Travis Hunter to Cleveland. 3, Abdul Carter to the New York Giants.
And you mentioned in your mock draft, number 5, Jacksonville. A lot of people all along expected Mason Graham to be the pick there. That doesn't seem to be the case. As Lee Corso says, not so fast, my friends. Where are we thinking the Jaguars rookie head coach Liam Cohen and the rookie general manager James Gladstone go in their first draft as the Jaguars tandem that's running that team now?
Liam Cohen's a 39 offensive guru. James Gladstone, it's 34. They didn't get these jobs being timid. They didn't get these jobs not believing in what they want to do. Offense is going to be a key piece. I believe Ashton Jeanty is as dynamic a player in this draft as any. And I believe that James Gladstone, coming from the Rams organization where character and game-breaking ability that's what we want to be, and that's our identity. I think Ashton Jeanty is going to be the pick at 5 over some of the more decorated defensive players.
And before we move on to the last topic, any chance Ted McMillan beats out Ashton Jeanty and the Jaguars pull a major surprise like that at 5?
It could possibly happen. I think offense is the pick. You said that in your good column on Monday morning. I would add that Ted McMillan has met with the Jaguars. They do have an affinity for him, and Liam Cohen used to coach a guy named Mike Evans in Tampa Bay, who is the most comparable player to Ted McMillan when you talk about the ceiling for that young man.
The last pick that you made in your mock draft that we'll get to in this hour before we really dive into the quarterbacks in the next hour is at pick 21, the Pittsburgh Steelers. You put Shedeur Sanders to Pittsburgh at 21. How do we feel about that selection? How confident are you that it will happen?
I'm fine with you blasting this all over social media. I'm fine with the entire ESPN audience hearing this. I know they had a good meeting a couple weeks ago in Pittsburgh, and Shedeur and Tomlin got along. If you were to tell me the pick that I am most confident about, I can probably list you 15 of them. The pick on this mock draft that I kind of closed my eyes and put Shedeur Sanders somewhere, it's Pittsburgh. This doesn't come from intel from the Steelers. They're not talking. And from a lot of people I hear, they don't even like him. That's what some people are telling. That said, they have a need at quarterback. Mike Tomlin can take on any personality and anything that comes with it. And I believe Shedeur Sanders can really succeed in Pittsburgh. This one, it went like this. The Steelers is the pick, and that's why they pay me the big bucks.
All right, so blindfolded there with the mock draft. Yeah, go ahead, Schefter.
No, go ahead. But go.
Yeah,
what other? Hey, Matt, Field Yates' birthday today as well. Wish him a happy birthday before we get to him as well.
Happy birthday. That's fantastic. I'm proud of you for joining us on your birthday, especially if it's such a lovely place you're staying. We'll get to Field in a minute, and we'll sing to him in just a second. But, Schefter, I want to switch gears with you and your intel on the Steelers and that quarterback situation and what they might do in the first round.
You're asking me, Matt? Okay.
Yes.
Basically, here's where I think Pittsburgh's at. Pittsburgh, I think, is in a situation where they're at pick 21. The Steelers actually would like to move back in this draft if that opportunity presented itself. Any number of teams would like to move back in this draft. The problem is finding teams that want to move up. But if Pittsburgh's at 21, I would think that if Shedeur Sanders is on the board, Shedeur Sanders is going to come into the conversation. But the Steelers have a lot of other needs that they'd like to address in this draft. They'd like to find a defensive tackle. They'd like to find a running back, maybe another wide receiver. So whether or not they actually go with Shedeur Sanders is the question that hangs over the first round. And if Shedeur doesn't go there, where does he go? I think he'll absolutely be in the conversation with the Steelers. You heard Peter mention the meeting he had with Pittsburgh. I think that he elevated their feeling about him during those meetings. They left those meetings feeling even better than they did about him. And certainly he could be the pick at 21, but really it's up in the air. I don't know that they feel convicted to take him at 21, but he will be under consideration there.
Yeah, I want to bring in birthday boy here for a minute because Field, look, you've heard us discuss this now for the last 5 minutes. This is one of the most volatile quarterback markets we've seen in a draft in quite some time. What are your thoughts on the QB market, just big picture?
Well, I'll get to the QB market in just a second here, Matt. I did want to note, for those that are wondering exactly where I am, it turns out I've actually been siloed in Kuiper's basement until the draft begins. So for those that have ever wondered what takes place in the great state of Maryland, here it is. Welcome to the Kuiper compound. I think this quarterback storyline, I mean, it is the storyline of the night. I would say that as we stand here right now, some 36 hours from Green Bay, there is one absolute stone cold lock amongst the quarterbacks to go in the first round. That, of course, being Cam Ward going first overall to the Titans. From there, Matt, you have to play a bit of a game of it's almost matchmaking, right? Look at the teams beyond the Titans within the order. And unlike years past, we actually have a pretty crystal clear list of teams that are going to be in the quarterback market or could be at some point. Their picks in the first round are the Saints at number 9. Peter and Adam both agree, not likely to take a quarterback at number 9. The next one is the Steelers at 21 we have been discussing. If for some reason the Steelers don't go quarterback, it opens up a very fascinating discussion about whether any other QB hears his name called on Thursday night.
Yeah, and that kind of leads me to this, Schefter. If let's just say he slides, because Field's right, there's one bona fide one, and we know that's the one. If he slides, then what?
Well, here's the issue, Matt. We've got 5 quarterbacks that can lay claim to the fact that they believe that they could go in the first or high in the second round. They're